I recently built a desktop application for myself called Reframe. It's an application that allows you to convert a landscape video like this to vertical video here, which you can share on social media or any vertical platform. What I really love about this application, which was the whole goal of building this, is that on different frames, I can move this box around, and in the exported video, I'm going to get a transition between the keyframes. So here we have our first keyframe, and if I play the video, I can move the box here. If I play the video again, I can even scale in or scale out like this. And you can see here below I have 3 keyframes. And if I should play the video here, you can see a transition. You can see how this moves from here and it zooms in. You can also see it on the right here. If I play it, we have this. You can see how it keeps moving and it zooms in when I want it to zoom in. Now the video doesn't look smooth currently, and this usually happens when I have used the application for a while and maybe there are background processes running. But I promise you, and as you see later in this video, when I export the video, it looks smooth. It looks really nice. Well, I built this application with AI. I had a bunch of prompts. I prompted until I got it to this particular place. I remember the first iteration, the exported video was not as smooth. After several iterations, I have something like this, which I have been using a lot recently for different videos I want to share. I built this with AI, and this is something I have been doing the last couple of months, using AI to build different applications, or in some cases websites that fit my personal use case or my workflow. And with all the AI models getting really good, this is one big advantage I see. Obviously, there are concerns and problems with how good and smart the models are becoming. But in my case, there are certain things I need which existing platforms or existing applications cannot give me, or they can give me, but it just takes a longer process. And so I just use AI to build these applications for myself. I've built, I think, 4 to 5. One of them is a file explorer I made for myself. You're probably thinking, why would you want to make your own file explorer? Well, I did this for several reasons, but one specific feature that I love the most is that I can go into any directory and I can find all the files that are bigger than a particular size. For example, I can find all the files that are more than 100 megabytes or 500 megabytes in a directory, and I get a view where I can preview all of these files and delete the files, or even delete in bulk if I wanted to. This is much easier than going to my terminal, running a find command, getting all of the list. I can just do this in a very nice UI. That's why I created my own file explorer. One of the reasons. I have other applications that do other stuff. In this video, I'm talking about Reframe. I had a horizontal video and I wanted to convert this to an easy vertical video such that the vertical video still captures specific sections of the video that I care about. But yeah, how it works is you have this here where you can create different projects, and I have this project called Aruba, and this is where I have videos that are related to Aruba. My wife and I recently went to Aruba for a honeymoon. I have a couple of videos here that I want to share. But let's say here I can take this video, one of our Aruba trips, I can drag it here. I can play the video at different points, but obviously this is always in the same spot. Let's say I want to start recording, or I want to capture from the point where we took off, well, somewhere from here. I can press the letter S on my keyboard, which creates a slice. The idea of a slice is that I don't want to export the whole video as vertical. I just want to export a certain section. So from here I can press S, which will create a slice. I can drag this slice to whatever point I want. Now at this point I can create a keyframe with just K, and now we have this keyframe here. And now when I play the video, I can move this around, zoom in a bit, then I keep playing, and I can move this around. Now obviously this is some manual effort, and if I had AI would probably just be able to find a specific subject and keep track of it. Or maybe I don't even need AI. Maybe there are other programmatic ways where you can capture a particular... The doorbell is ringing. I don't know if it affects this video. Maybe I don't even need AI for this, and this is a next iteration that I want for the project. Maybe there is a way where I can check frame by frame and keep track of a particular object. That's something I'm going to explore next. But for now, it's still a bit of manual effort, which is not really a big deal for me right now. I can zoom in a bit We have this. Now I'm going out of frame and I can drag this here. We have this. Now if you look at the right here, you can see that the video is not very smooth, but like I said, I promise it is smooth in the final export, and I will show you that shortly. Let me do a very small zoom, which should really, yeah, let's keep it here. That's it. Oh, now I easily got out of frame. Let's do this here, and let me make a scale out and this, and let me do this. Okay, that's enough. Let's stop here and I'll move the slice here. Now I have a functionality where I can create multiple slices. For example, here I can create another slice and I can export the two slices at once, or I can just export this single slice. I also have other features, like for example, this is a portrait view 9:16. I can also use 4:5 aspect ratio, 1:1 aspect ratio, which is a square, or I can even use 16:9, which is another landscape view, but still with specific zoom in, zoom out, moving and whatever. I also have a feature for stabilizing, and I'm going to enable that. Basically, it makes the final export a bit stabilized, so it's not too shaky. Sometimes that looks good and sometimes it doesn't look good. By the way, under the hood, I'm using ffmpeg to do the stabilizing and a few other things. So I'm just going to export this particular clip here. Now, exporting takes a long time. This particular slice is, I don't know how many minutes long. Yeah, I'm not sure, but exporting takes a long time, even for a 1 minute clip or 2 minutes clip. And these are things that I want to improve in the next iterations. I want to make the export faster. But for now, this is fine. I have the slices I want, export all the slices. I go do some other thing, and by the time I'm back, it's ready. So I'm going to fast forward this video until the point where the slice is complete and I can show you the final export. Actually, instead of fasting forward the video, I can just tell you a bit of how it works under the hood. So like I said, I use ffmpeg, which is a very powerful tool for working with media, and I use this for the stabilizing feature and many other things. There are 3 core components of how this application works. There is the source panel, the preview panel, and the export process. The source panel is what you see on the left here, basically just how the video is. It plays there. This is the preview panel where you can see a preview of the keyframes. Oh, and by the way, the 4th core component is also the crop here, where I'm able to move this rectangle around and be able to capture different places. Now in the preview panel here, what we have is a canvas, and basically on that canvas we look at what this crop here is capturing, and we basically draw that same image on this part here. So you might think maybe I'm playing 2 videos. I'm playing one video on the left and one video on the right. No, I'm only playing a video on the left, and on the right, frame by frame, we're capturing what the crop currently sees, and we are drawing that on this canvas here. That's why sometimes when I'm playing it on my laptop, it doesn't look very smooth. If I had a more powerful laptop, it would look smoother. For the export process, I have gone through several iterations. There was a particular export process I went through where we basically just record. It's basically like a screen recording of the preview panel. So whatever the preview panel is showing, we just do a screen recording of that particular section of the canvas, and we have the final video. But that was still not the smoothest, and the quality was still a bit low. So now what I'm doing is that on every frame in the source panel here, I am making like a screenshot, a capture. I capture that frame. If there are 6,000 frames that are needed for the slice, I do 6,000 captures, which is stored in a temporary directory, which means space also matters. I cannot use this application as it is for like a 1 hour video or 1 hour slice, because all of the image captures could easily exhaust the space that I have available on my laptop. But I have all of these images for every frame, and then at the end of the day, all the images come together to make the final export, to make the final video. And that's it. So the source panel, the preview panel, the crop part, and the export, and every other things are just extras, like the stabilize, changing the aspect ratio, adding more videos to a particular project, adding more slices. Those are all the extra things. And if there's an application you would like to use yourself, in the video description, I'm going to add a link to the repository and all of the documentation that you need to run this on your own laptop. I use Electron to build this, and I think Electron also works for Windows. It's working very fine on my Mac, and it should also work for Windows. So you can also run that on your own personal laptop and use it for whatever videos you want. None of the things here are going online. Everything stays on your laptop. This is not an application that I plan to publish for others to download. Maybe I might do that if this is something that people really want, but for now it's just on my own laptop. I'll share the repository and you can do the same on your own laptop. And here is the export. If I should play from the beginning to the end, you can see what Reframe did. We have this, and what I love about it is that it almost looks like the person who was recording this video was doing the zooming in and zooming out, but that's not what happened. And I think this is the moment where I did a really, we have this. Obviously we lose quality when you zoom that far. And then we have this. Then I can easily share this on social media or wherever. Again, if you want to try it out, the instructions will be in the video description. And if you'd love to see the other desktop applications I've been working on, let me know in the comments. That's what I wanted to share in this video. And I also hope that you can use ideas like this to also build your own desktop application, something you would like to see that other applications are not offering at the moment. Build a personal utility for yourself and improve your workflow. See you in my next video. If you enjoyed this, please give it a like, subscribe if you haven't. It does help the channel and I'll really appreciate that.